All right, we're here for sentencing today. Have you had an opportunity to review the pre-sentence investigation report with your client?
Yes, I did, Your Honor. There were really no additions, corrections, or deletions. I would just note for well, my client has indicated for the drug and alcohol screening that's not been a big issue. That was not raised as an issue in the case. So we're asking that he, I know there's a recommendation that continue. We're asking that be discontinued. He said for the creatine that he was taking that with, I guess, health issues, but if the court, I've seen, I don't know, I guess we have to see what the court, he said if the court has a problem with that, he would stop taking that. All right, thank you. And then we also did want to inquire about, he wants to have an appeals attorney appointed. He said he's indigent and can't afford one.
He has to fill out the proper paperwork for that.
Okay.
All right, Ms. McDuffie.
Your Honor, as far as the recommendation goes, I agree with it. I don't have any issues there. What I'm disturbed about is just everything that's in it with respect to, in this trial, we did have a jury trial in this case, and Mr. Hinsman was convicted of one count of aggravated domestic violence as charged. And while he apologizes for making a mockery of the court and having it appear like a Jerry Springer episode, I talked about a reality show quite a few times, given some of the nature of the things that came up in this case. I don't know that his apology even refers to himself, because it appeared to me as if every opportunity was taken by him in that trial to embarrass and humiliate this victim. And this is one of the most disturbing, not only the reports with the defendant's account, but the sentencing statement in this case is just unbelievable to me, that that opportunity was taken to basically submit a new case against this victim. And to see that these statements were allowed in, obviously over my objection in court, but there was this opportunistic thing about making her out to be some sort of alcoholic, some drunk who was constantly, and now that he's cautioning his kids on what to do in case she hurts them. I am truly outdone and disturbed by the behavior that I saw during the trial, and that is continuing afterward in this case. This is not just about the physical harm that was caused to Ms. Lucas. Aggravated assault means there's an injury. She had a ruptured eardrum from being struck by Mr. Hinsman in this case. But the pulling a gun to your own head and threatening suicide is a part of the control and manipulation that goes with domestic violence. This rationale, I think, in this report is one of the first time I've ever seen this version of explanation, which is that he did it to get her to move her car. I don't know where to even begin about how effective any sort of programming or intervention, or he's supposed to be in some counseling on his own right now, according to, I believe, his attorney, but I don't know what it's going to take to even begin to get through to Mr. Hinsman, because not just a reality show, but this alternate reality that seems to be the case. Of course, I'm not home with these people every day. I don't know what goes on in their homes, aside from what we learned about in this case. And clearly there's two very different versions of what happened here, but all of the accounts that were presented by the defendant are completely unrealistic. They're contradictory. They're inflammatory. They're disturbing, like I said. And we've seen enough of what we can be assured really happened, because he admitted to some of those things. He just changed his rationale for why he did them. So I'm so concerned, but I don't want to go on and on, because we also have a victim impact statement from Ms. Lucas in this case. Ms. Wilson is present to read that on her behalf today.
Thank you, Ms. Wilson. You may proceed.
Thank you, Judge. I've been asked to read into the record a victim impact statement authored by Leslie Lucas. Hello, my name is Leslie Lucas. On February 25th, 2023, I was struck in the face and verbally attacked by Michael Hinsman at my home with our children in the house. He hit the left side of my face so hard that he ruptured my eardrum. I could not hear anything in my left ear. It was painful and took weeks to heal and fully gain my hearing back. My boys and I's lives have changed drastically since this happened. The boys didn't know what happened at the time, but weren't surprised when Michael didn't stop over anymore. They didn't like going to his house. Michael was verbally abusive and mean towards them sometimes. I wondered about my safety, so I obtained a PPO for myself. How do you explain something like this to your children? I was trying to keep things amicable when I ended the relationship mid-February of 2023, allowing Michael to come over and visit with the boys or pick them up from my house when I was working. All of this could have been avoided if Michael respected my decision to end the physical relationship that we had, instead of still trying to control my every move. Michael, you need to take responsibility for your actions and prove to the boys that you can be a good person after all of this. They need a father in their lives that will treat them respectfully and not degrade them. They need a positive role model. They are boys and they should look up to their father. When a person says that a relationship is over, it doesn't give him or any person the right to still want to think they have control over any person's every move or any part of their life, regardless if you have children together or not. No person deserves to be treated like Michael treated me. I'm the mother of our children. Jealousy is a terrible thing for impressionable children to view. It devalues the family structure. I've struggled to get my sons to show me respect. They are going through a tough stage of puberty in their lives right now. They need a father that can explain what is happening to their bodies and minds. I will try to help them, but I am mom, and they get embarrassed. I've never intentionally kept the boys from seeing Michael. If anything, I did everything not to break the relationship that the boys had with him and his family. Anytime they have significant contact with Michael and his family, I spend the majority of the week following asking and trying to make them respect our household. Everything that I do is for the betterment and development of our children. And through all of this, I hope he understands that the he and I part of this is done. But I need for him to understand that the he and our children part is ongoing. The development of our children is his responsibility as well, and I hope he takes it seriously. My takeaway for Michael would be for him to receive help with his anger issues and his depression. Our boys deserve to have a kind, caring father that will be there for them. I, however, do not want to be around Michael at all, nor do I want him to come near my home, my safe place. I would like for this court to make sure he relinquishes any harmful entities or devices that could cause me or our children harm. My statement to Michael: I hope that this incident has shown you that you need to treat people with respect and to cherish every moment of every day that you can spend with our children. Also, may anyone that you come in contact with be treated with respect and kindness. I never wanted our relationship to end like this, but Michael, you scared me in a way I never thought was possible. I wish the best for you. I want you to show our boys how to be a decent person. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Ms. Lucas, Ms. McDuffie, anything further from you?
Your Honor, nothing further from the people, Your Honor. It's really sad to see that Mr. Hinsman has turned himself into the victim. And I hope that itself turns around and that he starts to open his eyes to what's happening here, what needs to happen.
Thank you. Ms. McCoy, anything else before I go to your client?
Yes, I would just note for the record that my client has no prior record. This was an isolated situation. He has been taking therapy, so he has been doing therapy from the beginning and trying to address these issues. And, you know, as Leslie said, they still have kids to raise. He said he is very apprehensive about being around Leslie while the personal protection order is in place. It's my understanding through the friend of the court that they've set it up for there to be visitation at the mall. But he said he's still, where she drops off the kids and he's there at the mall with the kids for 6 hours. But he said he's just concerned. And he says he has no desire to be around Leslie at all in this matter.
Miss Lucas, you mean? Calling her Leslie.
Oh, I'm sorry, Miss Lucas. Yes, he says he has no desire to be around her. And then let's see. There's a family friend, Mary Hawk, who's here, who said she wanted to briefly talk to the court on Michael's behalf.
We don't do that here.
Okay.
If she wants to submit a letter, she could feel free to do that.
Okay. I have nothing further, Your Honor.
Mr. Hanson? This is your opportunity to say whatever you would like to say to the court at this point. I did review your statement. I found it to be very interesting as well, along with the prosecutor. What would you like to say, sir? Please stand.
There is nothing I would like to say, Your Honor.
Thank you. You can have a seat, sir. I agree with the prosecution that it is extremely rare in my career, 30 years, that I see such a divergent concept of what happened in a situation. I'm struggling with what to do about this case. Because one of the problems of going to trial is not only does the jury get to hear what happened, but so does the court. I'm very concerned that there is some concept that there's no mental health that has been part of this case. When people pull weapons on themselves, that's a huge issue. Not only that, but the defendant got up himself and testified about all the trauma and damage he suffered at the hands of his own mother. So mental health is certainly an issue in this case. I think what I'm going to do is follow a recommendation and see how this goes. It's a sentence of this court that you serve 365 days in the Washington County Jail, credit for 1 day. 364 days are suspended. You're on probation for 24 months. Fines and court costs in this case for a total of $625. View the probation when and where directed, including any and all home visits. Attend and complete the Accountable Choices Battery Intervention Program at a rate of 1 session per week for a minimum of 52 sessions, including the weekend program. Must remain compliant with all of their attendance policies to be considered compliant with probation. You're to attend and complete a mental health assessment. You're restricted from having alcoholic beverages in the home. Submit to, pay, and be responsible for random drug and alcohol tests as requested by the court, any probation or police officer or treatment provider for a minimum of 1 time per month. It'll provide monthly verification of compliance of all of your probation conditions to the probation department via their online reporting platform. So you must report online once a month. You'll attend court reviews as ordered and make earnest efforts to maintain legitimate employment. The child exchange shall continue as stated and directed by the friend of the court, and to take place at whatever entity they believe, whether that's the law enforcement or Briarwood Mall or wherever that is, we will follow that recommendation. You refrain from harassing, stalking, threatening, or engaging in any conduct that would place Leslie Lucas in reasonable fear of bodily injury. No assaultive or threatening behavior towards her or anyone else. No contact with her except for the child exchange if it is necessary. And I don't think it's really necessary for you to have any contact, but there may be some incidental contact. No going to her place of residence or place of employment. No use of possession of alcohol, marijuana, illegal drug paraphernalia, and no being in the presence of anyone using those or any firearm components, ammunition, or other dangerous weapons. Do you understand the last part, sir? If you have a firearm, you need to turn that over to the police
I don't
department.
have any fire.
A review in this case will occur in 45 days to make sure you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. That's going to be on April the 29th. I'm sorry, one moment. That's going to be on May 13th, sorry, at 10 a.m. Are you available then?
May 13th, okay, will that be on Zoom?
Yes, it'll be on Zoom.
Okay, and you said at 10? Yes.
You have any questions about your sentence, sir?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Hensman, I hope that you take this seriously and follow the recommendations. And if not, then when you come back, you're not looking at a continued probation. You understand that, sir?
Would you like me to stand, Your Honor?
No, but do you understand?
Yes, I do understand, but yes.
I'll see you back on Zoom on May 13th, sir.
Okay.
And make sure you reach out to the probation department so you can sign your probation contract. Okay, all right, thank you.
And Your Honor, will they have the appeal paperwork at the front, the clerk's office?
I believe that we have it here, actually. Let me-
I'm used to what, you know.
Yeah, I know, everything's changed. 1 second, let me see if it's here. We haven't had to use one in so long. Yes, Ms. McCoy, go out to the desk and see if they have it out there. If they don't have it out there, they'll let me know and we'll figure it out.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank
Hope you and
you.
your staff have a great day.
Thank you, you too.